Payseep is a popular photo editing app where you can add a photo of yourself, so you can see what you would look like as the opposite gender. And it's not limited to photos of yourself. People have been adding pictures of celebrities to see what a gender-swapped version looks like. Surprisingly, some even resemble other celebrities when given an AI-generated makeover. The technology has gone further than just adding long hair and lashes on male celebs and a beard and short hair on female celebs. You can see that facial structure and age also made a big difference in the end results. Maybe one day, we will get an updated version that lets us hear what these gender-bent celebs would sound like. Until then, let's see what a gender-swapped universe would look like. Johnny Depp. We all know and love Johnny Depp for his incredible acting career and for stealing our hearts through his various roles, from the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland to the iconic Captain Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean film series. But what would Johnny's career look like if he was a female? The swap gives us hints of Angelina Jolie and Blair from Gossip Girl. We're sure Johnny or Julie Depp would have been a great Captain Jacqueline Sparrow, too. Keanu Reeves. This is a rather old photo of Keanu, but the app didn't fail to deliver. We appreciate that his swap stuck to the early 90s style of hair and makeup, too. Female Keanu would likely still kick some serious butt in the action-packed Matrix movies. Can you imagine how intimidating she'd be in the John Wick movies? Or should we say, Johanna Wick? It doesn't matter what her name is, we just know that you should stay clear of her if you cross her path in those movies. Eminem. Who knew that Eminem would look so good? Although the changes are subtle, we can see that if Eminem would grow out his hair a little and add some lip, plumping gloss and strategic eye makeup, he could go as Eminem, or perhaps Feminem. Would this make Eminem the newest rap goddess, and would she still have some fierce competition with the current top female rappers like Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, and Missy Elliott? We'd like to think they'd team up for the best rap battle in history. Céline Dion. Céline Dion can bring tears to millions of faces with her incredible talent, but when we look at her and her masculine counterpart, we wonder if his singing would move us as much. We're having trouble imagining what her music would even sound like if sung by a bass voice. Some people have noted she looks like Michael Bolton, and we can definitely see it. Céline and Chris Dion both look visually attractive, but what would the Titanic be without her smooth and gentle voice? We're saying no to this one. Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. has always been a formidable actor, but when he was cast as Iron Man in the 2008 film, his fame went through the roof. As much as we love Iron Man, we aren't opposed to the idea of Iron Woman, especially if she looks like this. Tanya Stark or Roberta Downey would definitely still be a heartbreaker on screen. Not only does Robert look gorgeous as a female, but we still see that serious and intimidating stare that only he can pull off coming through those brown eyes. Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne is not only a superstar wrestler, but he is a pretty amazing actor, too. Though we have to admit that, if we could choose which version of The Rock we get to see on screen, it would be his original male form. We can't imagine this sweet-looking lady in action movies. Women are just as amazing in action movies, but Diana Johnson looks like she would be better suited as a loving mom to 3 kids with a seat on the PTA, or perhaps a formidable lawyer. We prefer Dwayne as is. Rihanna. Rihanna made a name for herself as a singer and even added acting to her resume, but nowadays, she's mostly known for her incredible makeup line, Fenty Beauty. We can't help but say that Rihanna looks far better as a female than a male. Although the male version of her looks a little like Will Smith, he seems a bit rough and tired, which is not the face you'd expect to front a massive beauty line. It also seems like the AI kept her bun in the male version. Not the best man bun, but we'll take it. Gordon Ramsay. Gordon is known for his incredible talent in the kitchen, but what makes him stand out is his short temper and foul mouth. But would that temper still remain, and would Geraldine Ramsay have a career as an angry chef? We do love that he got a splash from the fountain of youth when he got turned into a woman, and we think she's rather pretty. We would watch Hell's Kitchen twice as often if we saw Geraldine Ramsay ripping heads off the chefs in the kitchen. Katy Perry. We would imagine that this is what Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom's son would look like as a young adult. The dark features of both parents, particularly their silky onyx hair, and the stunning smile from Katy's side would make for a handsome son. We would just pick a better, more fashionable hairstyle for Kyle Perry, and he'd be on his way to becoming the newest heartthrob in Hollywood, wouldn't you agree? Now we want to see what Orlando Bloom's female counterpart would look like. Lady Gaga. If Lady Gaga were a man, he would probably still be known for his flamboyant and unique fashion sense as well as his powerful vocals and talent for music. Though his voice would be a bit deeper, we can imagine it would still move you. Plus, Lady Gaga has always pushed gender norms, so this would be a great fit for her. The AI did a bit of a bad job rendering all her features and especially fixing her hair, but overall we can see the appeal in her as a male. Madonna. Madonna is known for her crazy fashion choices and, of course, incredible singing career. But we can't help but stare at her in her male version. It looks like the faces of Mac Miller and Justin Timberlake melted together to form him. But at the same time, we kind of think it works for Madonna. The app even managed to keep some of her hairstyle. Overall, we'd say this gender swap suits her well. We had imagined this is how her twin brother would look like if she had one. Ariana Grande. The original photo of Ariana was taken many years ago when she still worked for Nickelodeon and starred in hit shows like Victorious and Sam and Cat. But we think that, if she was a male, he'd be just as popular. And if he matured as Ariana has, surely he would be a super famous heartthrob that would leave all the girls and guys swooning. We vote for having Adriana Grande so the two could tour and sing together. Wouldn't that be cool? Kim Kardashian. Kim is a well-known influencer, businesswoman, model, and mother, and we can't imagine Ken filling those roles. But looking at what the app generated, we aren't mad at it. To us, there is no real connection between the two other than hair color and maybe the eyes. We would expect the app to give us an alternate father or brother image, but this almost looks a bit like a video game character due to the low quality. Even with a more realistic appearance, do you think he'd still be as successful and famous as Kim? Betty White. We are pretty impressed with this version of Betty White as a male. You can clearly see her smile, eyes, and even nose in the male version, yet he still looks so vastly different from Betty herself. We would almost think this was Betty's soulmate, rather than a gender-swapped version of her. But it would be more convincing if they removed the earrings on the male version of Betty and maybe gave him a fuller head of hair or bald spots. But other than that, we are sure Betty White would do great in the Golden Guys. Tom Hiddleston. We have to admit that we cannot decide which one of these two versions of Tom would look best. Both look charming and cute, with those incredibly striking eyes and shining smile. We can't quite put our finger on it, but she gives off some Kate Middleton vibes. Tom has a long IMDb list, but most folks know him best for his role as Loki. Tammy Hiddleston would make a great goddess of mischief. Sylve has proven that in the Loki series. And Norse mythology would agree with this gender swap. Loki was a skilled shapeshifter. Nicolas Cage. You either love him or hate him, but there's no denying that Nicolas Cage looks great as a woman. He's known for his quirky acting choices, some of which have generated hilarious memes, and we are sure Nicky Cage would give us those same performances. The female version of Nicolas Cage is giving us some Saoirse Ronan vibes. If you told us the two were married, we could imagine this was their daughter. Would Nicolas Cage be more widely loved than her male counterpart in Hollywood? Elon Musk. Elon Musk has made some incredible inventions and technological advancements, and it seems like he's constantly trying to come up with the futuristic tech old movies promised us. One thing he doesn't seem to have on his to-do list is to get a gender swap makeover. This is a great look for Elon, and in an ideal world, this is what his daughter would grow up to look like, or perhaps his sister. We love that we can still see his great smile and wonder what the world would be if a female owned Twitter. Miley Cyrus. We already know what Miley looks like with shorter hair, but facial hair is something only AI can show us. We don't want to let go of the glory days of Hannah Montana, but we are curious to know what it would have been with Hank Montana. Imagine if Hank was a teen boy who tried to live the best of both worlds. That would be a great series. But for now, we're okay with Hannah Montana. Male Miley does remind us a little of her actual brother, Bryce. Britney Spears. If Britney Spears were a man, perhaps called Bruce, we are 100% sure her life would be easier in the spotlight. She started making music when she was a teenager, and life was difficult for her back then when girls had to fight even harder. Bruce Spears would have definitely had the same amount of fame if he wrote and sang some of Britney's songs in a deeper voice. We can imagine he might have even been a member of the Backstreet Boys and broke some hearts. Cara Delingvinge. Cara is a model and actress, and is probably most recognizable for her striking brows and eyes, which luckily made it to her male version rendered, and we are loving it. Surely he would have done just as well as she did as a male model on the runway. We might even suggest that Cara actually goes out to get a pixie cut in real life, since it suits her so well. Is there any look that Cara can't pull off? We are a little jealous of her, if we are being honest. Kanye West. Ye, or Kanye West, is a rap star, fashion designer, billionaire, and professional scandal generator. We've seen his ex-wife Kim as a male, but what if Kanye was a female? We wouldn't say we prefer him with this more feminine look, we prefer Ye as is. His eyebrows and intense stare are almost key features of his face, so taking that away sort of makes him blend into the background, something he would not approve of at all. Plus, he would never want to be caught almost smiling, as this photo makes it look. Nicki Minaj. Nicki would be going head-to-head with fellow male rapper Eminem if she was a man, and we would love to see some friendly rivalry between the two. Maybe it is the beard, cheeks, or clean-shaven heads, but we see 50 Cent's cousin in Nicki Minaj. We have to say that we're not opposed to Nicki as a male. In fact, she is rather handsome, and we would love to see her perform Anaconda as a male rapper. We're sure we had be in for a hilarious or exciting show. J.Lo. Jennifer Lopez, or J.Lo, is an incredible performer, singer, dancer, and actress, and we would love to have a male version. We're sure he had be just as incredible and entertaining as she already is. Though, perhaps the industry can't handle two heavy hitters of that caliber. We love that he would still have the same deep and intense eyes and high cheekbones. We think both of them would be ideal on the runway as a model. What mad scientist do we have to convince to make this happen? Leonardo DiCaprio. Leo's name has been on Hollywood's lips for decades, ever since he started acting as a child, even landing roles in big commercials at age 14. And we think that, if the gender roles were reversed, he would still make such a big impact in Hollywood. We just wish that if he was a female that she'd get her Oscar much earlier in her career than Leo did. Yes, we are still bitter about that fact. Leona or Lee DiCaprio sure is a cutie. If he had a daughter that looked like this, we'd lose our minds. Justin Bieber. Without his stubble or beard, Justin Bieber always had a bit of a baby face, so imagining him as a girl isn't the most difficult thing. In fact, the AI hit it pretty spot on, we'd say. Just add some gloss and hair extensions, and you have Justina Bieber. She would have done great in place of Justin, when she just started out with his hit singles, Baby and Let Me Love You, and surely captured just as many fans' hearts as Justin did. Given prepubescent Justin's voice was a soprano, we bet the two wouldn't sound all that different. Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler as a woman reminds us of Sandra Bullock and most other actresses in the 90s and early 2000s. We're not mad at it, but we have seen Adam's feminine side before. If you pull out those old SNL DVDs, you'll see what we mean. Adam, like many other actors, made his debut on SNL. In some of his over-the-top sketches, Adam rocked it in drag, so we're not new to the idea of a more femme Adam, and we would love to see what she'd do in the acting biz. Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth seems to be great at everything in life. He's charming, an amazing actor, and he'd make a great woman. We think that Christina Hemsworth would make for a great female version of Thor, kicking some mythical butt with Mjolnir. With Tammy and Christina on set, the Marvel Cinematic Universe would still be a multi-billion-dollar franchise. With all the universe hopping in the MCU, we'd love to see them head off to this alternate reality with female Thor and Loki. Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy, much like Adam, made his mark by starting on SNL, where he also showed us his feminine side when he dressed up in drag a few times. Sketch shows seem to suit him, as The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is full of them. So seeing Jimmy in long hair and makeup is not new, but we do think that a fully transitioned Jimmy is rather beautiful, and we had loved to see her entertaining the masses with her own talk show. She also reminds us a little bit of Miranda Cosgrove. Ed Sheeran. Ed has an incredible talent when it comes to music. He sold millions of copies of his albums, and has become one of the most well-known redheads out there, but as a woman, we have to admit he looks even better. Ed has actually become his own pretty little Galway girl in this transitioned version of the Irish lad. We're glad to see his distinct features are still there, just rounded around the edges a little and a touch of makeup to finish the look. Jeff Bezos. Jeff is one of the most successful entrepreneurs. He truly started it from the bottom and ended up at the top. It's crazy to think that Amazon was once an online bookseller. So, what would life be like as a female billionaire? Of course, there are other female billionaires out there, but we wouldn't mind seeing one more on the list, especially when it involves one of the most popular online stores in the world. Let's just hope Jenny would treat her employees a bit better. Reese Witherspoon. Reese has given us so many memorable performances, and Elle Woods will always hold a special place in our hearts. We bet a gender-swapped Reese would still be a great actor, but Legally Blonde wouldn't have the same impact with Elliott Woods at the helm. But we still love the looks of her as a male, since this version of her remains cute and charming, but has an added bit of flair to him. He would have a stronger jawline, but surely they could have given him a better hairline too. Julia Roberts. In her 3.5 decades of acting, Julia has given us some stellar performances. Though we can't pick just one, Vivian Ward in Pretty Woman stands out, don't you think? Does the AI think Vic Ward would be as charming? With her slightly stronger features, we'd say she definitely would make for a handsome guy, especially with her signature honey, brown eyes that captured many hearts over the years in Hollywood. We love that the AI even transformed her necklace into an undershirt. Winona Ryder. Winona Ryder has had a great career as an actress, and now the younger generation knows how skilled she is, courtesy of her role as Joyce Byers in the hit series Stranger Things. We didn't see much of Will's dad, but maybe the AI can show us what it had looked like with Jack Byers and Hawkins. We had say we are on the fence about it. On one hand, he just doesn't steal our hearts in the same way Winona has, but on the other hand, he still has her deep brown puppy eyes that made us love her in the first place. Scarlett Johansson. You would think that Scarlett's gender swap would look just like her twin brother, Hunter, but the app seems to disagree. This isn't the best attempt at swapping genders, in our opinion. Though perhaps that's because we already have Hunter as our baseline for comparison. She kind of looks a little like her co-star, Chris Evans, with a little hint of Justin Timberlake. But still, the AI did her dirty on this face swap. We say leave Scarlett alone. We don't need her male counterpart. Beyoncé. Beyoncé is probably in the top 10 female celebs out there, but we are not sure that we would want Queen Bey to be King Bey just yet. She is so iconic for her stance on gender equality. It just wouldn't be the same with her as a male. We have to say that Beyoncé is far better looking as a woman, or the AI just did not do its best with this render of Bey as a male. That's just our opinion, though. What do you think about King Bey? Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow made a name for herself as an actress, even landing a coveted role in the MCU. Nowadays, though, she's best known as a successful businesswoman, including selling some questionably scented candles. Yes, we know you know what candle we are talking about. If Gwyneth was a man, we had be put off even more if he brought out a candle with the same concept, but we had still respect him as an actor and businessman. His face wouldn't have the same sweetness as Gwyneth's, but it will do for this swap. Billy Joe Armstrong. Billy is a punk rock singer and has had tremendous success with his band, Green Day, and has stolen the hearts of many fans over the years with his moody appearance and doe eyes. So it's no surprise we love the female version of him, too. Billy, or maybe we should call her Betty, looks stunning with her dark hair and those same doe eyes. She definitely would have been a hit in the band, Green Day, if she still remained in the industry. We wish Billy had a sister that looked like this. Gerard Way. Gerard is another artist from the early 2000s, where he sang in the famous emo band, My Chemical Romance. And just like Billy Joe Armstrong, we absolutely love what the AI did to make him into a more feminine version. We don't know what it is, but female Gerard is giving us some Hermione vibes. We bet Gerard is on board with this swap since he created his own gender-bent version of a beloved figure in a 2014 comic book, Penny Parker, aka female Spider-Man. Pink. Pink would look absolutely great if she was transformed into a male. You would think the AI wouldn't do a lot to her since she already has some strong facial features and often wears short hair, but we are glad that the results are this good. Pink as a man is straight up gorgeous. We love his almost sultry look and incredible facial structure. We love Alicia Hart as a woman, of course, but we are a little sad that we would never get to see Alec Hart perform. Just give me a reason. J.K. Rowling. Joanne Rowling is the famous author of the even more famous book series, Harry Potter, and while it would have probably made no difference to her talents as a writer if she was male, we bet John would have had an easier time getting his novel published. The irony of this gender swap is not lost on us, and perhaps she'd be happy that the results are a bit underwhelming. It seems that the AI just gave her some stubble, cut her hair, and wiped off her makeup. We don't know what we were expecting, but it is disappointing. Vin Diesel. Known for his role in the Fast and Furious movies, Van is a handsome guy with an amazing body, but would he have the same impact on Hollywood if he was more feminine? We wouldn't be able to say just yet. But we would like to see her and the female version of Dwayne Johnson star in a Fast and Furious movie together, or some other action-packed film. Who knew Van would look so beautiful with a full head of hair? Cristiano Ronaldo. Soccer superstar Cristiano Ronaldo has come a long way since the start of his career as a professional athlete. He's a force to be reckoned with both on and off the field, if his 547 million Instagram follower count tells us anything about his popularity. Sadly, women aren't given the same opportunities in professional sports. But we bet Christina would still give it her all and make a name for herself, just like Cristiano has. She'd have to work harder, but that would make us love her even more. Like, share and subscribe to AMJ channel. Thank you for watching our video.